right, what is going on? Episode 8. Today we're going to sit down with third class Danny Wask, 174, and team captain, first class, Josh Koderhandt. Before we add them, I'm just gonna go through some admin stuff just to keep you guys up to date with what's going on with the team in the near and upcoming future here. So this weekend, 17 January, Friday, we got our social prior to the Lehigh duel, 4:30 to 6:30 at the Federal House, similar style to what we did at Blue and Gold's earlier this year. So for 2 hours, anybody and everyone is welcome to join us, hang out, just catch up with everybody, and then we'll roll over to alumni for a 7:30 duel against Lehigh. Following day, we got Harvard. No social plan for that one, but that one is the following day, and that will be our senior night. So please, if you're in the Annapolis area, please jump in there, say hello, and support our guys. A little bit farther down the line, Army-Navy duel coming up, 16 February. It's a Sunday. That will be, I believe, 4 o'clock on the 16th. Tickets are on sale now. I've been pushing this for the last couple weeks now. We're trying to make this a sea of blue and gold, make it feel like a home duel for our guys. Should be an exciting match. If you've never been to one, it is not like any other duel. So highly encourage anybody, if you're free that weekend, to head up to West Point, help us support our guys for an exciting duel, but one that certainly means a little bit more than any other duel. So, and you got to be there to see that and understand it. Last little admin note before we get Josh and Danny in here: EIWA tickets, March 7th and 8th at the Stabler Arena in Bethlehem, PA, hosted by Lehigh this year. They're now on sale. They're now available. All of them are going to be general admission. So we'll have, get your tickets now online. I'll make sure to add a link in the email and on the social media pages. We're going to sit together as a team. So it's general admission. You get you in the building, sit anywhere you want, but we'll figure out, we'll coordinate a section of the arena to gather and cheer on our guys. But you got to get your tickets now. What I was told is February 10th, they're going to start bumping up the prices. So get in there early and get your tickets. I'm also hoping to do a social that weekend. Got to play a little bit of just look at the schedule and strategize a little bit better to figure out what time makes sense either on Friday or Saturday that weekend to do a little get together. But stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's bring Danny Wask and Josh to the pod. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
How we doing?
We're doing good, buddy. How's it back? How's it being back at school? You guys getting into a routine with stuff, or is it dragging? You guys are in the dark ages right now.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like being back at school. I get my schedule and my routine back. Going at 6 a.m., lifting at lunch, doing homework after school. I work well when I have a solid routine, so I like it. In the dark ages, it's not really the dark ages for us because we're getting into the exciting part of the season. So we have something to look forward to.
What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm school's good. It's good to be back. Wrestling's going. It's good.
Good. Well, I was gonna say it's always the dark ages for us because we're working out at 6 a.m. and when everybody's asleep, we are getting better. So it's always the dark ages. But that's a good way to spin it. Look, so this year has been especially enjoyable for me. Obviously coming back and being as close to the team that I, as you both know, like really care about the program and the school and everything. So it's been really enjoyable in that regard. But one of the greater pleasures of this year has been really getting to watch you guys, just kick ass and succeed. So I thought it was about time to kind of pull you all in and, like you said, Josh, like we're getting into the fun part now, like the Hayes in the barn at this point. We got a couple duels, and then EIWAs and, NCAAs are right there. So at this point, like, I just thought it was time to pull you guys in, let you guys know that, it's been fun watching you, and it's been fun, cataloging your success, at this point. So, Josh, I'll start with you. Like, do you feel like anything is like clicked different this year? Like you've made jumps, it seems
Yeah,
like.
I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the difference is. There is very clearly a difference in my wrestling. I think a lot of it's like confidence and belief. I truly believe that I can win a national title this year. When years past, I say that I have felt that way, but did I truly 100% believe it? Probably not. But I'm big on confidence. Like, you gotta. I mean, Coach Collette says it all the time. You gotta think you're the man. You gotta know you're the man before you are. Gotta know that you're the national champ before you become the national champ. So I think that's been my biggest thing, is just confidence, knowing every match I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win and I'm gonna dominate.
So sorry, Danny, I'll come back to you on that. But so are you like talking to yourself differently, you think, like just throughout practice, throughout the weeks, like leading up to competition? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything I'm doing is revolving around winning a national title. I mean, there's times during we're doing a drill. It's like, all right, how do I get a little bit more of an edge on? I mean, even just the guys in the room, like, I'm trying to outwork everybody. Or if I don't get this takedown right now in this live go, like, that might cost me a takedown in the national finals. So, I mean, yes, I'm constantly thinking about what can I do to make sure that I achieve my goal of winning a national title. And it's a little more that way this year because I'm done after this year. It's like, oh shit, it's now or never.
Yeah. Danny, what about you, man? I you and I have had more private conversations, like offline, about what you've done in the off season, and maybe it's like you've matured more, you've grown into the weight class better. But what is it, just for everybody's sake, like what's the difference this year for you? Like, what has clicked on your end because you've beaten people this year that you've lost to. You're beating top 10 guys. Like, you're right there, dude.
Yeah, I think it falls back on being confident, and I'm a big believer. Like, I do my best when I believe in my training. Like last year, by the end, I didn't finish like the season how I wanted to, so I took a little bit of time off, took some time to reflect, and then got back after it. And I think the time off was really good, and it really helped because it made me like want to go back to go wrestle hard and like want the suck. And the dark ages, it's not that dark. I'm trying to be the best in the room. I'm trying to outwork Josh trying to outwork me.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think this year my biggest difference has been just falling back on my training and just trying to work really, really hard in the room.
So have you like adjusted your training at all this year, or you think it's just the consistent training that you've done for the last 2 years at this? Well, you've been training your whole life for this, but with Colad, it's been about 2 years at this point.
Yeah, I think mentally something, I can't really put my finger on it, but something clicked, and just being able to see it before it happens, visualizing it while I'm doing it, like while I'm at practice, like I'll
visualizing similar.
Like say I'm running on a treadmill, I'll like think about like wrestling happening, and then I'll be running. It'll be good.
Are you talking to yourself differently than you did like as a plebe?
Yeah. 100%. And it falls back on like what Josh was saying with the confidence and just the belief. Because, I mean, everybody's super good these days. It's all about who just believes it the most and who gets it done.
What would you say? What would you say to somebody, like an underclassman or maybe even a peer of yours that maybe has not connected yet? That whatever that piece is, because there's guys in the room that you guys see it. They're there, they're working hard, but there's a disconnect between the effort and the commitment and the techniques that they're doing on each other in the wrestling room and how that translates into the mat. Like what would your advice be to somebody like that? Danny, Josh, whatever.
You got it, Danny. Take it.
Yeah, so I was talking to a couple guys about like that exact thing. Like they were just having a hard time trying to like put the pieces together because wrestling's super tough. Like once you think you got it, you don't. But just like trusting the process and just enjoying the journey while you're at it. Like it's not going to be linear for everyone. Like not everyone's going to have straight success. Not everyone's going to be like just god awful all the time. Everybody's going to have ups and downs. It's about stacking the ups and then bouncing back from those downs.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, I think the biggest problem I see is like getting out of the freshman mindset of like, I'm a freshman. I got 3 more years after this. Probably not supposed to do that great this year. Like I don't think that's true at all, and especially now with like the COVID years and red shirts and everything. I mean, I'm 22 years old and I'm a senior and I'm wrestling 27-year-old juniors. Like that's just how it is, man. You're either better than a guy or you're not. Like that's how I look at it. And I think I'm better than everybody. So like I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're, and even when I was a freshman, I don't care if you're a senior. I'm still better than you. Like there's no reason that you should be beating me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It definitely takes like some mental toughness, especially if it is somebody that just gets beat up every day in the room, because that's hard. I think as a freshman, especially like, Josh, I'm not as like familiar with your high school successes, but I know you were significantly more successful than I was in high school. But Danny, you were like number 1 in the country, like all 4 years or something. Well, you were up there. National preps stuff. I think like especially let's say you're a 4-time state champ. It's hard coming into a college room, especially Division I program. Doesn't matter which school it is. If you're a 4-time state champ, you're not going to be the best guy in the room anymore, but you're used to being the best guy in the state. I think it's like you're starting over. Actually, Colat, myself, and Quinn were talking about this today in the room. Is just we were trying to figure out, and I think it depends on the person. We didn't come to like an ultimate conclusion, but what we were talking about is like, do you think it's actually good for freshmen or red shirts to come in and just get pounded every day by that 5th or 6th year senior, or does it set people back a year? And, so I think everybody goes through those like moments where you question yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the person. As a guy who wasn't a state champ or a Fargo All-American or anything, like I expected to get my ass kicked every day. So it was a little bit different mindset for me than I think it would be if I rolled into the room, as a 4-time state champ or something. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on the person. I mean, like, I'm a big believer in you come into a room, like if you want to get better, you wrestle with somebody better than you and let them beat the crap out of you. Well, not let them beat the crap out of you, but get the crap beat out of you for a week and say, today I gave up 20 takedowns. Tomorrow I'm giving up 19. The next day I'm giving up 18. And then eventually I'm getting the takedown here and there. And then Eventually I'm getting 2 and then 3, and then eventually I'm beating this guy in a match. I mean, I think it's all just about like that upward trend. But that's the kind of person I am. You know, I think sometimes I like to take the hard path. That's just how I am. But it's not like that for everyone. You know, some people, and obviously you need to put those skills that you're learning into play on a guy that, like, into practice on a guy that, you know, maybe definitely isn't better than you, that you can beat the crap out of. But yeah, I mean, I surround yourself with people that you want to be like, and eventually you're gonna be like those people.
Yeah, I like everything that you just said there, you know, and kind of circling back to what we were talking about is like talking to yourself differently and what's different this year. Like, I think you made that commitment to yourself that you knew it was gonna be hard, and you wanted it to be hard because you were able to foresee those jumps that you were gonna make, and like things clicked, you know, like. And I think if you stay consistent with your training in that mindset and give up, you know, a couple bumps and bruises and a couple losses, you know, you're obviously not happy about that. But if you stay consistent in your training and you trust the process, like what Danny said, like eventually it's going to click. And then you're the guy giving the beatings as opposed to receiving them eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Danny?
All right. So I think of myself as like, I use a lot of analogies. So,
All right.
like you were talking about with high school, like you're a fish and there's a pond. All right. So,
Yeah.
like when you get like the biggest fish in the pond, sometimes you can be a little complacent and you go after the next best thing, whatever. But you're stuck with that pond. So then you move to college. The pond, you know, this thing is like 1-2% of like that pond moves on to college wrestling, Division I college wrestling.
Yeah.
So you're a new fish in a new pond. So you gotta make your way back up to being the biggest fish in the pond. So I mean, it's the same thing of like with like kind of what Josh is saying. Like you just gotta find like the best people in your room and just go get them until you like they're yours, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
if you get lumped up, like don't really need to keep track of score in the room. You just fight them back, punch, kick, bite if you have to.
You can challenge them to a stone pickup competition.
You could.
No, it's good.
Danny's got
Yeah, we'll give you that one, big Wask. No, it's good. That's good dialogue. I kind of deviated from some of the questions I wrote down, but that's good. Do you guys have any routines throughout the week or like before a match? Is there anything like that you guys I already know the Subway thing, so but we'll get to that. But is there stuff like that goes like if you're wrestling Friday, it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Like, is there stuff that you're already doing today that it's like I got to do this to be ready Friday? All right, yeah. What you're nodding your head already, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, Saturday duel starts on like the preparation starts on Sunday. Like I'm getting my weight back to where I want it to be at the start of the week. On Sunday, you know, waking up right where I want to be Monday morning, practicing in the morning, lifting at lunch, do the same lift every Monday, do the same thing again Tuesday, different lift, same lift every week Tuesday. Wednesday, chugging a bunch of water, getting the water in me to get ready to get my weight down. Thursday, Wednesday is off day. We're not wrestling. I might come in and roll around at lunch or something, or go for a little jog. Thursday, wrestle, get a good workout in at lunch. Friday, no wrestling, just focusing on getting the weight down every week.
Okay, I've asked you this offline too, but like, why do you? What is it to you? Because it wasn't like you've done that your whole life. So like, when did the Friday or day before like off the mat thing start? And then like, why do you do that?
I think I started it like towards the end of sophomore year. I don't know. I mean, I'm just like the next important thing that I have is wrestling, and making weight comes before that. I'm not getting any worse. Taking one day off the mat. This is really all just about like making sure my body's feeling good for that match the next day. Yeah, I'm just like big, like do as little as possible to get my weight off. And I hate wrestling to lose weight. I don't enjoy it.
Mhm.
Because it just feels like a job trying to get through that. And I
Yeah.
don't like, I want to enjoy wrestling. And if I'm not going to enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. So that's kind of where that came from. Just making sure my body's feeling good, going for a light jog, riding the bike, just doing easy stuff. Because I've done enough work at the beginning of the week and all season, like that one day, it's not hurting me.
I really, you've told me that, but whatever you said this time, like resonated differently. Like why not feel as good and as strong as you can for as long as you can, and then do as little as work as possible to get off the crappy part,
Yeah. I mean, and, everybody's different. That's just what works for me. And it took me pretty much until last year to figure it out. So it took me 3 years to figure it out. Colat, he wasn't like super happy with it at first. He was very hesitant, but I think I've proven that it works for me. And, I know Danny has a different system than I do. And pretty much everybody has a different system. It's just about finding what works best for you.
Yeah. One more follow up before I jump to Danny, but it's got to be a huge difference too. Coming from a guy who did like to lose weight, wrestle to lose weight. I would also hate practice sometimes. Like you probably love practice because
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's why I've seen like jumps, like such big jumps the past 2 years, is because I do like truly love wrestling now. Like I just want to be on the mat. Like I want to be on the mat all the time. I know that's not good for me, so I don't do it. But whenever I'm on the mat, that's the only thing I'm thinking about, and I'm enjoying every second of it. It's been fun, and I think that's because like it what came first, like the chicken or the egg, I don't know, but winning is fun and wrestling is fun, practice is fun. So I don't know which one came first, but they definitely go hand in hand together for me.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I lied. One more question. What's with the steak and cheese?
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely there's no science behind it, like at all. No, like that's probably not what you should be eating after weigh-ins, like to get refueled the fastest. But I've been doing it since high school. I stopped doing it my freshman year, and I was cutting a little more weight, so that could be part of it. But then I started it back up, and I'm like, wow, I feel great again. It's got to be the Subway. But yeah, before every single, like after every weigh-in, before every match, it's a 6-inch steak and cheese from Subway, pepper jack cheese, toasted, banana peppers, red onion pickles, chipotle sauce,
Oh God,
a raspberry cheesecake cookie, and a bag of Sun Chips. And I think the only thing that is like science might like say like, yeah, this works, like this should work, is I eat the cookie first to get some sugar in me. But everything else, like steak, probably not the way to go after weigh-ins. But
Danny's shaking his head.
I don't know. It works for me, so I keep doing it, and I keep winning. So,
Yeah. What about you, dude? What about you, Danny? What's your week look? Are you thinking stuff early in the week? Or do you not think about it? Are you watching film? Like, what's your routine throughout the week? And then, maybe like hours before stuff.
Yeah. So like I'll wrestle. So like I'll start like with what Cody was saying. Like say he'll wrestle on a Saturday. Like I'll hit a hard lift Sunday. Really try to go hard, and then my weight isn't as you know. Yeah, I don't really have to worry too much about my weight as much as Josh does. Then Monday will come around. Like Mondays usually are like cardio day. So then like my legs were still pretty beat up from the day before. I'll do like some stones or some like squats or whatever. So then like we'll hit some hard cardio, and I know that like the work I just did the day before, like I'm gonna be super sore, and then Monday's gonna come. I'm doing all that cardio on super sore legs, so it can't be as bad as like when I'm wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I'm also just like wrestling really hard in practice and making sure I'm refueling properly, trying to not be underweight. But just maintaining like halfway decent fuel during the week, wrestling really hard. Usually I won't care about my weight until like the day of or the day before. But like going through the week, I'm just trying to wrestle really hard. Work on like certain things that needed to be addressed from like my previous matches, and then doing a little bit of game planning, like seeing what I got to do better. And
Yeah.
and then I guess day of, so like probably for the Lehigh match, go to school until noon. Hang around a little bit, make sure my weight's good to go. I probably won't get on the mat Friday. Like I'll probably do a little something tomorrow because tomorrow we got off, but I'll do something tomorrow, and then I try to win when I wrestle. So
do you yeah, that's always good. I you said something there that I didn't want to forget. So like you say you don't worry about your weight and like day of, really. Like how big of an advantage do you feel that is? Like where you can go to practice and like really you're just thinking about getting better at wrestling instead of like that's an extra step that you don't have to worry about throughout the week. Like that's got to feel like huge. Has it always been like that for you?
Yeah. So like plebe year, it was really bad. I'd walk out like too late sometimes, and I'd get yelled at. So like this year, trying to be a little bit heavier going into practices is. I mean, it's still a struggle sometimes, but like being able to just refuel properly, like during practice, has been good for me. And like when I work out, I lose so much weight, so it's like I have to put back in, or else like I'm in shambles. Like
Yeah, but I just mean from like a getting
Or
better
just-
at wrestling.
yeah, like I don't.
perspective.
It's just one less thing to worry about. Like it might be in the back of Josh's head occasionally. Like Wednesday, he's having a bad week, something doesn't go right. He's a pound or two heavier than he expected to come in at. Like might be learning in the back of his head. There's nothing going on in my head. So like
You're just not worried about that. Yeah.
no.
What about like film? You said like game planning stuff. Do you watch like your opponent's film, or are you just like, no, I'm gonna focus on what I need to get better at or what I'm doing?
A little bit of both. I try not to dwell too much on the other guy because he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and I can only control what I can do.
Yeah.
But just going out there and just trying to do good, put on a show.
Yeah. Day of, like, or what about like right before? Do you guys tie your shoes a certain way? Like, do you only put the ankle lace thing on your left ankle? Like, is there anything weird like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I tie and tape my shoe, and then that's before I put on the other shoe. So like I'll tie my shoe and tape my shoe, and then I'll put on the other one, tie it, tape it, and then I'll only put my anklet on. If it's one anklet, I'll put it on the back leg. I don't put it on the front leg.
Okay. Josh, you nodded too.
I mean, I don't think the anklet's like a big thing for me. I think I always put it on my left, but I'm not really thinking about that. But I do, yeah, I do the exact same warm up every single match. It's quick. It's like 20 minutes maybe. For that, I mean, it's worked for me, so I continue to do that. And then I always give one of the coaches a really hard high five before I walk out there. Just
Danny, you do that too.
It's go
Yeah.
time.
What do I
Yeah.
do?
You go for the high five too.
Occasionally, not as hard as Josh. I feel like
Yeah, I like, especially when I do it to Blaze, because Blaze has got a big meaty hand. I like it. My hand freaking hurts sometimes. Like maybe I shouldn't have gone. Like maybe I shouldn't have hit it that hard. But
You're jacked up.
yeah,
That's cool. I didn't know about those things. So that's pretty sweet. You don't have Danny, you don't have like a post weigh-in, like gotta have a
I always drink a Pedialyte. Nothing like crazy food wise because I'm not food deprived.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just getting whatever I got out back in me right away and just feeling like $1,000,000.
There you go. All righty. Josh, back to you. You know, both you guys had a really good soldier performance. I don't remember what either of you guys did in the tournament last season. But Josh, you beat a dude that you lost to last year's top 5 guy, right? Von Bauer.
yep.
Didn't give up a single point in the tournament. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like that's got to feel good.
Yeah.
What was it? You know, I'm not trying to get inside baseball here. Let me share my screen so I can. I'm just going to share the. Oh, it's already pulled up. What were some moments throughout this match that really stand out to you?
I think right in the first period, he got in on a pretty deep single leg, and didn't score on it when he like pretty much had me dead to rights. That was a big one. I know, like, not getting that takedown for him was probably like, fuck, I'm gonna have to work really hard to beat this guy, and not a lot of people want to do that every match. Yeah, I think it's here.
That was the first Coder bomb.
Yeah. Now he picks me up right here. Like, you should probably be getting this takedown just about every time, but
you bounce off your hips so fast there.
Yeah.
Like there's moments in every single match, whether it's right after you get taken down, right after you take somebody down, or right after an escape. There's moments of relief that people look for where it's like you can kind of just go, okay, now it's time to, like half a second.
Yeah.
This was one of those moments that he had one of those, and you capitalized on it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, not giving this up. I mean, that was big because that changes the whole match. Like, then I'm chasing after him for the rest of the match, trying to get a takedown, and I pretty sure I could have been able to do that, but if your job is to not get taken down, like, you can do that most of the time, especially when you're a top 10 guy. So yeah, that was big.
You
obviously getting my takedown in the second. Yeah, it's right here. And then here again, he like takes a second after he gets that escape, and I hit him.
Good point. I didn't realize it was that quick after the escape.
Yeah. I mean, that's just from like years of wrestling, like mistakes I've made myself. Like, there's definitely been times where I've gotten stung because I stopped wrestling for a second. I know people are doing that, so yeah, I try to capitalize that. I think most of my matches, as soon as I get, like, if I give up an escape, I'm like on you right away just to see if you are taking that little break.
For sure.
But yeah, that one, and
I think like the last 30-45 seconds where it's just like kind of gut check time.
Yeah. I mean, he got it on my legs a couple times, but I was never really like, I never really felt like he was going to take me down.
So what felt differently to you this time? Like, you got hands on him last year. It was a different outcome.
Yeah.
Obviously. Like, what did he feel different? Do you feel different? Like, what was like?
I mean, I honestly last year I probably underestimated him a little bit. I don't think he was ranked super high, if at all, whenever I wrestled him last year. And he does like he moves his hands a lot and doesn't really do much with that. And I let that get to me last year, and he kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit, or like he's like, oh, I'm gonna do something, doesn't ever do something, then eventually he does. That got me. I think he hit me with a double leg last year. But yeah, just I don't know. I mean, everything feels real solid for me right now. My defense, reattacks, everything. I never once felt in danger in this match, really in the whole tournament at all.
Yeah. How much has Quinn played a factor in that?
Quinn's been a huge help for sure. I got a guy in the room that can wrestle with me every day, and we go back and forth. And he doesn't have the pressure of competing anymore, so I think he's probably gotten a little bit better. He just gets to. I mean, Quinn loves wrestling, so that's what he gets to do now. He gets to just wrestle for fun. Like who wouldn't thrive in that situation? But yeah, he's been great for me. I mean, my top game has gotten so much better this year. I mean, I think I had like 50 something I think I had 58 seconds of riding time on him in this match. The Quinn's super good on top, and he's helped me out a bunch there. And then on the other side, he's good on top, so I've gotten a whole lot better on bottom. Nobody's really riding me anymore. He's good on his feet too. I mean, he's good everywhere. He's helped me out a ton.
Yeah. Plus, he's a good vibe guy.
Yeah, great vibe guy. Yeah. He's not only is he a good wrestler, he's also a really good person. Then that always makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah,
having somebody like that around you.
Yeah. Danny, similar to Josh, like pretty standout soldier performance. Like it was a good tournament this year. And we took 5th as a team, which I think was a good response to like coming back from break. And I think a less than, successful or expected weekend in Vegas as a team. You guys both did well in Vegas, but one of the matches, obviously you had a tough one in the finals. We'll make adjustments. We'll get better from there. But and it wasn't like a flashy match, but your semis with what's his face from UNI,
Sima.
Yeah, like I feel like you had to dig deep for this one. Most of your matches are like high scoring, 4 or 5 takedowns minimum, and this one we didn't see any, right? So it was like a different style of match for you, and I don't know if that was a strategy or if you guys were just equal. Like what are you what are you talking to yourself before this match and like during? Like have you wrestled this kid before or like?
Nah, so this was the first time we ever hit. Like Sim is pretty good. He was a blood round guy last year at Nationals. Just well rounded. Like I don't know. Whenever I was watching him, he stood out on top. He had some funky stuff on his feet. So I mean, I know he likes to start fast, and I like to start slow sometimes. So I mean, the goal for me going out there was just to start fast. I mean,
yeah.
You and I talked a little bit about like sometimes I use time as my friend. Like sometimes time is your enemy, but like time is sometimes my friend. It's hard to wrestle with me for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So just like
I don't like doing it.
I don't know, just staying like calm, patient, calm, cool, collected. Sometimes I'm go. Like I'd rather see points on the board than like a low scoring match, but sometimes you gotta do the low scoring matches,
Well, yeah. So like that, I guess that's kind of what I was asking is like, did you know that going into this bout that you were going to try and keep it tighter than normal, or was like that's just kind of how the cards fell?
I thought this match was going to be a shootout,
Yeah.
and then it just wasn't. And I was like, all right.
Well, what really most impressed me is like you didn't get flustered that it wasn't a shootout. You just stayed patient, and then when it came your time, well, you got a solid reversal, and like the middle towards the end of the second.
Yeah, no,
Right.
he had already locked up a minute.
He had a minute of riding time.
Yeah, he was doing a good job returning, keeping me moving down there. I was able to able to get to my elevator. I don't know why. That just works. And then I was able to just ride tough.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
You rode him out. Like
Yeah, in the third.
you rode him out. You got a riding point. So you rode him for, I don't know. It was probably
Almost,
close to, what was it?
3 minutes.
Like 2 minutes. Yeah.
2:30.
So yeah, which I had never really seen you do, especially not against a guy who was in the round of 12 last year, a blood round guy. So I just think that's something that is in your arsenal that we just don't see because you haven't had to do it, but like you did it here. And so like as I'm watching this, I think like Spencer or somebody was wrestling on the other side. So I'm like kind of watching, while you're in the background while I'm coaching Spencer or something. And I was like, wow, he dug deep for this one. He gutted this one out, like rode a really tough dude out. So, I mean, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, wrestling has 3 parts, and you got to be good at all 3 if you want to be good at the sport. So yeah, being able to, I don't know, get a little gritty, get a little tougher, and just get it done is good. I mean, it's good for the program, good for me.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Yeah, you guys kicked ass out there. It was a fun one to go to. I hope we go back next year, and I think we'll just continue to build each year on that stuff. Alrighty. Last thing I was gonna bug you guys. It's getting late. I wanted to really ask you guys this because you guys have found success. And I think that it's not necessarily a stereotype, but it's like when people think of Navy wrestling or when they're getting recruited and, somebody from Navy calls them and lets them know like, hey, we're interested in you. Like there's this, again, not a stereotype, maybe a stigma or like, if I go to Navy, like I'm not going to get better at wrestling. Like obviously that is not the case for both of you. So what is it about Annapolis, the military lifestyle that you guys go through, and then obviously the training environment that you guys endure that enables you and anybody else, if they want to succeed, to be successful? Kind of a tough question on the spot, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I know what I'm doing every day because somebody's telling me what I'm doing every day. But also like we don't have the normal distractions here that everyone else has at a normal college. Like as a freshman, you don't have the ability to go out on a Thursday night and go get drunk with your buddies. Like, so you don't have to worry about saying no to doing that. Because you can't do it. Like I think that's the biggest thing. Like there's not a lot of distractions here. Like you're going to school and you're wrestling and that's what you got. Now, not to say like there's time to have fun. There's a time and a place for that. But I mean, if you want to be the best, you're saying no to that stuff anyway. Like if you're at another school, like you're not going out every Friday night like that. It's just not happening. So that's what it is for me. I mean, notice not a single distraction here. Like I have no desire to like get in trouble to go do something that a normal college kid is doing. Like it's not worth it. I have goals, and when you have goals, you do whatever it takes to make sure that you achieve them.
Yeah. What about you, Danny?
Well, I mean, all right, yeah. So like the question was like stigmas about the academy.
No, not necessarily. No, I'll kind of refresh it and I'll add a different twist to it so
Right.
we hear kind of a different answer. But like, I prefaced the question with the stigma that like you can't go to Navy and win matches, but that obviously isn't the case for both of you gentlemen, and then really anybody else. As to Josh's point, if you have goals and you want to be successful, you're going to do whatever it takes if you take those goals seriously to accomplish them. But what is it really about Annapolis for you, and really anybody else if they make it that way, that works for you to be successful? And I prefaced it with wrestling too, but like, let's be honest, guys. You guys are preparing to be leaders. You're preparing to be in the military. Like, you guys are preparing to be good teammates, husbands, fathers, men. That you guys are immersed in an environment that, to Josh's point again, you are in an environment that is so much different than all of your other competitors. But how are you still able to be successful in all of those things in addition to wrestling, and why is Annapolis a good spot for that?
Yeah. I mean, it all starts with like, it's like the academy. It's like a super special place. There's a lot of good people. But also like this place like teaches you how to be a man. Like you're gonna have, like you were saying, like once wrestling ends, you're gonna like have to be an officer. You're gonna be a husband. You're gonna have a lot on your plate that you got to get done. And this place teaches you how to do all that stuff. And in regards to like all the wrestling, like Coder said, there's not a lot of distractions. Like, and that's a good thing. So it's keeps your mind super focused, super, I guess mission oriented.
Yeah.
If your mission is to win a national title, and this place does a great job, makes time for us to go accomplish our goals, makes time for us to go win like big matches, for Josh to go win Soldier, for us to go out to Vegas, go wrestle the best. Like I think just like that guys talked about the people, like our coaching staff, like our teammates, our like my company mates, like it all boils down to just everybody wants each other to do well. It's like super positive. Just helps you be the best person you can be.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you say that. That's all I wrote down, guys. It was definitely longer than I anticipated this going, but there's some good dialogue. Appreciate y'all's time. Is there anything else you guys wanted to share, or ready to hit the lights?
I think I'm good.
I think your roommate's ready for you to be done.
We gotta go sign taps. He's waiting for me to go sign taps.
All right, Danny, go do some more Legos, buddy.
Will do.
What are you building, Danny? What are you building right now?
I'm out of sets right now. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm getting a hey soon. I'm excited about that one.
What's a hey?
You ever watch Moana? He's the chicken.
Oh yeah, okay, that's good. That's a good one.
What'd you get for Christmas? What's the one you got for Christmas?
All right, so I got 4 for Christmas.
Break them out.
Show us.
All right, first one. Dobby.
There you go.
I got Groot, I got Rocket, and then I got a Piranha Plant.
And Simba.
I do have Simba, but that was before. That wasn't a Christmas gift.
Wow, I just finished.
Nice.
All righty. Well, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for
All
your time.
right. Yep. See you tomorrow.
See ya.